So we are going to go through 2025 papers, okay? So we start with the February March paper. Look at it. This is the first one, February March 2025, okay? Let's see the types of questions that you must know. We go through them together. We can run through the whole paper. Maybe that's the best. I'll be just running through the whole paper, explaining some things to you, right? Important concepts. So let me give you a tip right now. You see how maths is? Here is how maths is. Maths is divided into 4 sections, okay? The core maths. IGCSE core maths. IGCSE core maths is divided into 4 sections. Are we together? The first section is called number. The second section is called algebra. The third section is called shape and space. Are you seeing? Are you see? Okay, Lefika, can you see the screen? Okay, great. So here's what I was saying. Wait. Right. So here's the thing. Look at this. Most of the questions come from this section called number. Can you see it? Lefika? Right. I was saying this topic code number you are seeing here, it is where most of your questions are going to come from, okay? Interest, where they'll ask you first about simple interest and compound interest. Some things to do with bounds, some things to do with percentages, some things to do with rounding off and estimation. Some things to do with time. Are you seeing? Some things to do with ratios, some things to do with proportion, some things to do with sets. All these things. Can you see? So all this is where most of the exam is coming from. So let's go through those questions from unit 1. For example, here, Taj is 3 1/4 years old. So this is like a fraction, okay? And they want you to convert her age in months, okay? So this is just easy. What you simply do is, let's say, you are going to say, let's do 3 years into months, then we do 1/4 years into months, okay? Or we can say we change this to a fraction. So we'll say 3 1/4, This becomes, you multiply here, you add at the top. You say 4 times 3, you get 12. Plus 1, you get 13 over 4. Remember, you are allowed to go with the calculator tomorrow, okay? So 4 times 3, then you say plus 1. Now, all you're going to do, you say 13 over 4 times 12 months, okay? You know that 1 year is 12 months, right? So we want to find 3 and 1/4 of 12 months. You understand? We multiply by it. So that is what you do. 4 into 4, 1. Into 12, 3. 3 times 3, that's 39 months. You see? So you say here 39 months. Okay, here, did you see how you convert? All right, well done. Now the second question says, Dave has $25 to buy some cups, and one costs $4.25. So if you know the cost of one, you divide it into the amount of money you have, okay? So you can say max number of cups will be, how much money do I have? $25. And I divide by the cost of one, which is $4.25. Always remember, divide by the cost of one. Okay, Lufika? What are you going to get? What are you going to get? Lufika? What is 25 divided by 4.25? Can you hear me? Right, can you see? Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. We said you should always divide by the price of one, right? So the cost of one is this. It should always divide. Are we together? Good. So always divide by the cost of one. Don't ever forget. So if you divide by the cost of one, what do you get here? What's 25 divided by 4.25? Okay, 5.88. But the maximum number is the whole number, 5. So you can say the maximum number of cups is what? 5, because we can't take a piece of a cup, right? So number of cups, 5 cups. Are we together? Now they want, what is the change? Here's how you get change. When you want to get change, it's so easy. Change will be equal to, how much money did you have to buy? $25, right? Then you subtract the number of cups times the cost of one. So we said you're taking 5 cups and one is $4.25. So can you tell me what answer you're going to get there? $3.75, which is $3.75. Okay? Great. Next, here is measure angle A. Write down the name of this type of angle. They say to measure angle A. You measure it with your protractor, right? Okay. Here's how you put your protractor. You can put it like this. Even if you put it like this, look at it. You put 0, here's your protractor. Then you make it start like this. Let me see. So it'll be like this. It will be, even if you put it like this, it doesn't matter. Like this. Can you see? Then this is your protractor. So remember, it has things like this, like this, like this. So you are going to check where this angle is going to be versus where this one is going to be. Okay? And then if this is the bigger value, you say bigger minus smaller. If this is the bigger value, you say this one minus this one. Okay? Then you get the angle between the two of them. Are we together? Okay, good. So this, you see that this is going to be a what type of an angle is this going to be? We have obtuse angle, we have reflex angle, and then we have acute angle. So this is going to be an acute angle. It's less than 90 degrees, okay? All right, now here they say, write down a number. Now they're giving us a list like they did for the paper 1. Write down a number on this list that is a multiple of 13. So if you say a multiple of 13, you can divide all of them by 13. See which one can 13 go into. You find that it's 39. So it'll be 39. Okay? A factor of 140, you say 40 divided by each of these. You see which one can go into 140. Okay? What is it? Let's go. Which one can go into 140 there? Check. Which one can go into 140? Check which one. Check which one can go into 140 on that list. 35. Okay, wait. Joseph, I'm sending you the link. Can you join? We are doing maths for tomorrow. Paper 3s. What did you get as your answer? 35. 35 is the one that can go without leaving a remainder. Okay, good. Well done. So that's good. Now let's do here. It says next the largest prime number. Let's see. The largest prime number. We want to see. Prime numbers are numbers that only 1 and itself can go into. So 30 is not, 2 can go into there. 32 is not, 33 is not, 11 and 3 can go into. 34 is not, 35 is not, 36 is not, 37 is a prime number. 38 is not, 39 is not. Let's say who can go into 38? I think 2, yeah? So it's not, 39 is not. So the prime numbers are these ones where only 1 and itself can go into. And which one is the largest one there? 37. Okay? Hi Mookie. Can you tell Joe to join? I'm live. Can you tell him to join? We are doing core maths past papers right now. Hmm? All right, so can you tell him? Tell him. Tell him. Okay, so I send the link to Joseph. Tell him to join. I'm live right now. Quickly, I'm doing comments. Thank you. Goodbye. All right, bye. So now, can you see? Divisible by an even cube number. Which one is divisible by an even cube number? Cube numbers look, when we say we have a cube number, it's the answer you get when you multiply a number by itself 3 times. Okay? So this is actually boring. These are 1 mark, 1 mark. These are boring questions. Let's start with heavy. Let's start at the back. Right? These 1 mark, 1 mark are boring. We want to do things that I know you're going to walk in and start with. Right? Let's go through those ones. Number 1. This one, which we want to remember, I said to you that things like interest percentages are coming because they are chapter 1. It's the biggest chapter. They are unit 1, not chapter 1. It's chapters 1 up to like 10 or something like that. But it's all unit 1. Are we together? Yes. So here's what happens here in unit 1. Let's go for it. There is interest. And you must know about interest. Let's see what you must know about interest. You must know that when you are dealing with the word interest, don't let me down. Lefika, you are starting with the question on interest tomorrow. You should go for it. Get those marks, okay? When you see the word compound interest, I want you to quickly write to say value of investment. When you are dealing with compound interest, you go below and you write value of investment. This is equal to principal multiplying 1 plus rate over 100 to the power of time. The reason we divide rate over 100 is it's a percentage, so it should be divided by 100. Are we together? Are you seeing? Okay. So that's what you do. So let's go. Value of investment. And that's good. We are lucky because that's the question they actually want. So we say value of investment is equal to principal multiplying 1 plus rate over 100 to the power of time. Are we together? What is the principal? The money she invests, 12,000. It multiplies 1 plus, what is the rate? It's the percentage, 8. So it's 8 over 100. To the power of time, the number of years, t, which is 3. Are we together? So can you do that, please? What do you get? Yes, you can put it as the whole thing. Here's how you put it as the whole thing. Say 12,000. Punch 12,000. Then say open bracket. Then say 1 plus Then open bracket again, because every fraction should be in bracket. Say 8 over 100. Yeah, the over, which is A, B over C, yes. 8, then you press A, B over C, then you say 100, which means 8 over 100. Then you close that bracket. Then you close bracket again. Then you say to the power of 3 and say equal to. $15,116.54 So you always put the dollars and the cents. You put the dollars and the cents and you are done. So it's 15,000. Hi Joseph, 116.54 dollars and 54 cents. Can you hear me, Joseph? Joe? Okay, so listen closely. The first question you do the moment you enter the exam, you go to a question which has the word interest. And let's agree. Listen, there's one thing I hate is if any of you break any rule, it's illegal. We are not allowed to break a rule. So the steps I give you, you walk in the exam, you do them, you walk out. Don't change them. When you see the word compound interest, I actually don't care. I don't even care what they say. I don't care. When you see the word compound interest, I want to see this formula on your paper. Or else, I don't even want to look at your paper. I don't want to look at you. Value of investment is equal to principal multiplying 1 plus rate over 100 to the power of time. This is what you write. Value of investment. When you see the word simple interest, once you see the word simple interest, then you don't say value of investment. Hey, the formula we have for this one now is, let me go to it, is interest is equal to principal times rate over 100 times time. Lefika, are you with me? You have to write this. The moment you see the word simple interest, I don't care what they're looking for. Anything else will come as step number 2. You have to write this. So that's what we saw here. They said, hey, Clay, invest, blah, 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 blah. And they said, compound. I don't want to read the question. We don't read questions. You skim through questions. Reading questions is dangerous because the English can catch you. What you do, you skim. Then you see the word compound interest. Once you see the word compound interest, you're like, okay. Value of investment. You should practice writing this. Principal, 1 plus rate over 100 to the power of time. You can forget anything else. Practice this the whole night if you have to. Practice this the whole night if you have to. The moment you see the word compound interest, write value of investment is equal to, write this. The moment you see that word compound interest, you write value of investment is equal to this. Then we say principal is the money that is invested, so it's 12,000. Then we said, you say what? 1 plus, what is the rate? Rate is the percentage, which is 8. You divide it by 100. So you say 1 plus 8 over 100 to the power of time. You just check time, the number of years, which is 3. And you tell me, what value do you get? I said, what do you do when you're punching? What do you do when you're punching? You say 12,000. Then you say open brackets. Then you say 1 plus. Then you say open bracket. Then you say 8 over 100. then you close bracket, and you close bracket again, then you press to the power of 3, which is x cubed, that button, to the power of 3. Then you say equal to. What do you get as your answer? Joe, what do you get as your answer there? Pardon? Okay, yes, punch. Okay. $15,116.54. So that's what it is. $15,116.54. $15,116.54. Well done. Now we go here. Right. Percentage increase. I don't care. Don't read this. This you look for when you are now looking for the answer. Look for this word, percentage increase. So next is how do we get percentage increase? So here is percentage increase. This is just what you must know about percentages. Okay, are you listening? It's all about the steps. These topics, percentage increase, percentage decrease, is all about the steps. So now let me say this so that everybody knows. When you are dealing with percentage increases, percentage decrease, what you must know is that the original amount is always going to be your 100%. So if I'm looking here, Zek invests 560. So this is the 100%, right? Excuse me. He invests, after 1 year, his investment is worth 630. So here's what happens when you do percentages. It's done in steps. What you do, you'd say, okay, 560 here is equal to 100%, right? Now, okay, great. Now, if we want to find if there was an increase here, if there was an increase or decrease, here is what happens. There's a formula which we use. Let me give you the topic so that you always know. There are 3 things which you can be asked when you are doing this percentages question. There are 3 things which you can be asked, right? Or 4 things. Number 1, they can tell you that you have money, then you did a something percent increase, then find the new amount. So this is finding. The first thing you can be asked is to find new amount after increase or decrease. When we meet that question, we'll do it. But just put it in your heads to say, they may ask me to find the money there. Or 2, they can ask you to find the percentage itself. So they can ask you to say, please find the percentage increase or decrease. Please find the percentage increase or the percentage decrease. This is the second. Then the third thing they can ask you to find is they can ask you to find the amount before there was the change. Amount before the change. To say this thing is now being sold for $10. It is because they increased the price by 20%. What was the price before they increased? That's the third thing they can ask you. Right. So in for us, the easiest question which you can be asked is to say, find the percentage. This is the easiest, which is like this one. Find the percentage increase. The formula, this one has a formula. It's the only one which has a formula. Here is the formula. Percentage change is equal to final minus original over original times 100%. This gives us the percentage change. Say percentage change. Whether it's an increase or a decrease, you use this formula. So it's just simply going to be equal to, what is the final? 630 minus original 560 over original 560 times 100%. This gives us the percentage increase. They told us that this is an increase. Eh? Are we together? What do you get? Do it step by step. Say 630 minus 560 is equal to, then say divided by 560 is equal to, then say times 100. What do you get? 12.5%. So this is now the percentage increase, 12.5%. Because it's positive, so it's a percentage. Questions? Right. So on percentage increase and on interest, we've said some things there. Let me come here. Okay, simplifying ratios. So ratios can be simplified. You just divide by a number that goes into both. Eh? You look into 147 and 98. Can 98 go into 147? Try to find a number which goes. You write. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Right? Mm-hmm. What is 4 into 98? Okay, so that is impossible. What is 3? 3 can go into them, right? What? 2? 2 can't either. Without leaving a remainder, it can't, right? Into 147. 7. Okay, okay. So you found it to be 7. Yes, so you can say 98 as to 147. You just say divided by 7 divided by 7. You get 14 as to what? Although these are not my favorite types of questions. With 1 mark, no. Not my favorite types of questions. Alright, so here they are saying 2 to the power of 452. Yeah, we can. Actually, that's good. 2 as to 3. Yeah, well done. You can divide by 7. It becomes 2 as to 3. Now, here, 2 to the power of this as to, just punch this in the calculator and see what answer you get. What do you get? Even, let me teach you something. You can even divide both by 2 to the power of 450. Because remember, when you divide numbers with powers, the powers subtract, right? So you're going to say 2 to the 450 as 2 to the 2 to the 452. You divide both by 2 to the 450. Okay? Which means that what will happen is, what will you get? In here, it's when you subtract. Remember, when the bases are the same, you just subtract the powers. So this becomes 2 to the 450 minus 450. That's 0. So it's 2 to the 0 as to 2 to the 452 minus 450. That's 2. So we now have 2 to the 0 as to 2 to the 2. 2 to the 0, any number to the power 0 is 1. As to 2 to the power of 2, that's 4. So it becomes 1 as to 4. This is another way of doing it. Can you see? Okay. The trick is this. When you divide, you subtract powers. So I am dividing things that have powers. I first put the 2. Then because I'm dividing, I subtract the powers. So here it is 450 minus 450. So it's 2 to the 450 minus 450. I subtract the powers because both of them are 2 to the something, so you subtract. Then in here, it will be now 2 to the 452 minus 450. You have to do it. This is the rule. You have to subtract the powers. 450 minus 450 is 0. As to 452 minus 450, that's 2. So it's 2 to the power of 2. 2 to the power of 0 is 1. As to 2 to the power of 2 is 4. So it becomes 1 is to 4. Because we end up getting a negative answer. We divide by the smaller number of the two. Okay? Now, anyway, I like to start with things that have a lot of marks, not these questions. Let's go to transformations and let's talk about it. I'll be starting with things that have a lot of marks, those and that I know will come again. Right, let's talk about it. Remember, I said, let me give you the tip. I said most of the things, maths is divided into 4. There is number, there is algebra where you have factorizing, expanding, whatever, and then there is shape and space where you have circle theorems, transformations, what, and then you have statistics. So the most marks come from this one, number, where you have exchange rate, interest, percentages. That's where the most marks come from here. So if you see here is exchange rate. Now, I will not forgive a mistake on exchange rate. You are not allowed to make a mistake on exchange rate. Look at here. They said she has $2,000 into krona. She wants to convert $2,000 into krona. So let me explain to you right now and let's finish it. When you are dealing with exchange rate, when you are coming from one currency to another, all you need is the exchange rate. Once you have the exchange rate, you can come from the exchange rate and go straight to the money that you want. So here is how you do it. Here I have dollars and I have the relationship between what? Dollars and euros. So I can find the amount in euros. I'll say amount that she had in euros because I have the relationship between dollars, the one which I have, and euros in this exchange rate. What you just do, you start with the amount which you have in dollars, $2,000. Then you multiply, okay, it's $2,000. Then you multiply by the exchange rate. You convert the exchange rate into a fraction. So in exchanging, it's so easy. You should just know what is the relationship between the two currencies. Then you convert it to a fraction. So here we have dollars. So the dollar is going in the denominator. Here it's $1. And then the euros goes to the top. It's 0.615 euros. Okay, why did we put dollar in the denominator? Because it's the one we have. So the dollars and the dollars will cancel. What will remain with 2,000 multiplying 0.615 euros, then divided by 1, which is going to be, what's 2,000 times 0.615? What is 2,000 times 0.615? 1,230. Is there any sense? 1,000. No, we are not done. We now have euros. Now, how do we do euros to kronas? Joe, how do you do euros to kronas? Yes, what is the secret? What do you do when you're exchanging? You convert the exchange rate to a fraction. That's what you do when you're exchanging. You convert exchange rate to a fraction. So write the euros which you have. You have 1230 euros. You want to go where? To kronas. Look at the exchange rate between euros and kronas. Convert that exchange rate to a fraction. What is it that you want? You want kronas. So they go on top. You put euros at the bottom. What is the number of euros you have in the exchange rate? 0.087, right? Euros. Can you see that? Let me move it like this. Don't let me down. Lifika, I would rather have you forget the answer. I don't care about the answer. I care about the method, the rule. If you don't have the rules, you are in trouble. Here is the rule for exchange rate. I don't want yours. Listen to this rule. When you are exchanging from one currency to another, you need the exchange rate. You convert it to a fraction. So right now, we converted dollars to euros because we had the exchange rate between dollars and euros. We don't have between dollars and kronas. So we do dollars and euros. To get it in euros, we started with the amount which we had in dollars, 2,000. Then we used the exchange rate. Hey, this exchange rate should be the fraction. What you have is the denominator. So you take the exchange rate. We already have $2,000. Now we want to convert to euros. We take the exchange rate and we convert to a fraction. The dollars go to the bottom because we already have dollars. You put $1. The euros go to the top because we want euros, 0.615. What answer do you get? You now say 2,000 times 0.615 divided by this. The dollar and the dollar will cancel. Now we'll have it in euros. 1230 euros. Now we want it in kronas. You do the same thing to say, I want it in kronas, but I don't have it in kronas. Let's start with what I have. I have 1230 euros. So you write 1230 euros. Then you say, what is the rate between euros and kronas? Here it is. Euros as to kronas. Now, what do you have? 1230 euros. So convert this exchange rate to a fraction. But what you have should go in the denominator, 0.087 euros. What do you want? Kronas, you write on top 1 krona. So now you are going to say, euros cancels euros. You remain with 1230 times 1 krona divided by 0.087. And you get your answer in kronas. What is 12 times 1 divided by 0.087? 14,000. 14,000. No, it's two. Okay, 14,137. Yeah, maybe. Do you have cents? 0.93 kronas. 14,137.93 kronas. You're not letting me down on exchange rate. I want to start with things that have a lot of marks. Okay, stem and leaf and bearing, we are coming back to it. And pinky, pinky, punky, father, head of donkey. Okay, I'll do it. I want to start with transformations. Where are the transformations? Here is transformations. Right. Let's start with describe. When you get a transformation question, listen, you start with describe. Describe questions. And when you do describe questions, there are 4 types of transformations. Listen, we have 4 types of transformations only. Now, rotation and enlargement. When you are describing them, you will see because they'll give you 3 marks. Yes, yes, very possible. Translation and reflection, these will give you 2 marks. So these are worth 2 marks. So, sir, how do I answer a describe question? Look at the marks. The marks will tell you. So I come here, it says describe. I quickly look at the marks here. I see, 2 marks. So I know this is going to be a translation or a reflection. These ones are the simple guys that are worth 2 marks. You should make sure you are writing with me. So now they said shape A onto shape B. So it's A onto B. Now, how do we know when it's a translation and how do we know if it's a reflection? If the shape spins and you have translation or reflection, automatically it's reflection. Are we together? So let's see from A to B. Did the shape spin? No, it didn't. It just moved. So automatically you say this is a translation. You get marks to say this is a translation. Now you just need to tell us the translation vector. How do you do it? You pick a point and you pick the same point on the next shape and you see how you move. So we move 1, 2 steps in the X. So the translation vector, translation, and you can say translation vector will be in the X, you move 2 steps to the right, so it's positive, so it's 2. Then in the Y, you move 1 step down, so it's negative, so it'll be -1. Okay? Pardon? Okay, the translation vector, you pick the same point. Then you see, how do you move from A to go to B? That same point. How did we move? Remember, vectors are written as X, then Y. So we say, how do we move? We move 1, 2. So if you move towards the right, then the X is positive, and it will be 2. If you move downwards for Y, then it will be negative, so it will be -1 to show that it's 1 step downwards. If it was 1 step upwards, it would have been a 1. So this would be translation vector 2 -1. Okay? Nonsense. Don't ever use that. Throw it away right now. Now we come to shape A onto shape C. It says describe. I said don't start with the questions that say draw. For transformations, they'll say draw and they'll say describe. Don't start with the ones that say draw. Lifika, are we together? Don't start with the ones that say draw. Start with the ones that say describe. And you look at the marks. Marks. So tell me, if it's 3 marks, it can only be what? Rotation or enlargement. Why? Because these are the only ones that have a center. That's why they give you 3 marks. So now you go again and you see, if the shape got bigger, then obviously it's an enlargement. They say A onto C. It can't be a rotation, it will be an enlargement. Look, A onto C. Did it get bigger? Yes. So you get 1 mark from just writing to say enlargement. Now you need to tell us by how much? By the scale factor now. Here is how you do scale factor. They said A onto C. So you take a length in C divided by a length in A. So it's like we come here, we say, we want the scale factor. What is the length? What is the size of this? How many boxes is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be 4 divided by, we take the same length on A. How many boxes? 2. So it's 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So enlargement, scale factor 2. Then now they may ask you for center, but for center what you do, you take a point on the same, you join it and you proceed. If it's enlargement, you join, then you proceed. You keep going after joining, by the way. Then you have joined the same point. So it's all about joining the same points, the same lines. Now you take the point here on the same point again. You join with a straight line. And you keep going until they meet, okay? Where they meet is the center. You check what value it is in the x, 5. So it's 5, comma. What value is it in the y? 3. So it's 5, comma 3. Okay? So scale factor, whatever, and then you can say center 5, comma 3. Okay? Are we together? You saw how we got the center. You then look down on x to see what value it is. Then you look on the y to see what value it is. You put the x, you put the y. Those are the coordinates of the center. Yes. You keep it like that. Yes. Yes. You leave it as 3 over 2 if it's in its lowest forms. Now let's do the draw. So you rub. The describe, when you're done, you rub because they don't want them. Now you drew the draw. Draw the image after a rotation. They tell you the center. So what you do, you go to the center. What is the center? 0, 3. 0 in the x, 3 in the y. So here it is. This is the center. Now what are they saying? They are saying you must rotate it 90 degrees. Are we together? So here's what you do. Look at this. You have the center, right? Okay. Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. Can you check for me the length that all things from A are? Can you tell me the points of... It's so easy. Look at what you do when you are drawing a rotation. A lot of people struggle with this. Tell me you are rotating A, right? Tell me how to get to each point from this center. The first point is what? Is 0, 0, right? This corner here. Can you see that? Listen, we are measuring starting at the center of rotation. So, this is the center of rotation. Can you see that we have a corner that is at the center? A corner of shape A that is exactly at the center. Huh? So we say it is at 0, 0. Now let's take this second point because we are going to rotate all of them. Let's take this second point here. Where is it if we start from this center? 0, 3. Where is it? It is 1, 2. It is 2 in the x, right? Then in the y, it is 0 because it's on the same line, right? Now, where is the last point? If you want to rotate, just tell me where all points are from the center of rotation. Where is the last point? Yes, you go 1, 2, 2 in the x. Then you go 1 in the y, so it's 2, 1. Then what do? You flip your grid. They said rotate 90 degrees clockwise. When you flip it anti-clockwise 90 degrees. Let's go and do it. Let me take a screenshot.
so that you see me flip it. Once you know where each point is from the center of rotation, flip.
So let me, sorry.
Can you see? Can I flip? Can I flip? Joe, come back. All right. So listen. Let me say something to finish this. Listen. The biggest enemy of maths is your mind. Your mind is our enemy right now. It will always be our enemy. Because you're going to change steps to do different steps that your mind wants you to do. But you must do the steps that we agree. We said, if you are told, rotate 90 degrees clockwise. Listen. Rotation is hanging on this one thing. You should have these points. These 3 points. If you don't have these 3 points, forget about rotating. These 3 points that we have are measured from the center of rotation. So ignore this center. Forget about this center. This center right now, when we are doing rotation, this center is useless. The center we care about is the center we know that is the center of rotation, which is here. We measure everything from there. So we want to know, where are the 3 corners? Where are they from this center, which is in blue? We can see that the first corner is right at the center. So that means it's at 0, 0. The second corner is 2 steps in the x. So it's 2 in the x, 0 in the y. The third corner is 2 steps in the x, 1 step upwards. So it's 2 to the right, so it's positive, then 1 step. These are the 3. Then now we are going to look. They said rotate 90 degrees clockwise. So the secret will now be, when you are rotating 90 degrees clockwise, you are going to flip your look like this, anti-clockwise. The question says do it clockwise. For you to do it clockwise, you take your paper, you flip it 90 degrees anti, like this. Have you seen a flipped 90 degrees anti? Then I am going to put these same points. Let's put the same points. From where, sir? From the center. Go to the center of rotation. Here it is. Now put the first one is at 0, 0, so it will be still here. Put the second point, it's 2 in the x, 0 in the y. So you now move 1, 2, so it's going to be here. 2 in the x. When it's upside down like this, yes. Then the other one is 2 in the x and 1 in the y, which means you say 1, 2 in the x, then 1 in the y. You put it here. So this is the triangle after rotating. Then now we will flip it back, right? We'll flip our paper back. So now we can flip our paper back. Do you understand? Give me a second. Okay. Look at us now flipping it back. We are going to flip it back. Look at what it will look like now. If we flip it back, wait, if we flip it back, it will look like this. Hooray! So this is our new shape after rotating. Can you see it? This is the new shape after rotating. So where is it at? What is the first thing? Go to the center. Make sure you have the center of rotation, right? Because everything is measured from the center of rotation. Then check where each point is. Check where each of the three corners will be when you measure from the center. And write down those. One is at 0, 0. One is at 2, 0. One is at 2, 1. You have put where each point is from the center. We say to you, well done. You got the center of rotation. Then you got to each corner from the center. Then now you see, do they want me to rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise? If they want you to rotate clockwise, you flip your paper anti. Then you put the same points. From where? From the origin. No, the origin is useless. You do it from the center, but whilst it's upside down. Then you join the points and you can bring your paper back. You will have the new shape. No, the center we don't. The origin we ignore. Origin 0, 0. Unless the origin is the center. Unless you have been told that the origin is the center. We are back at the question. Let's go back. Here is the question. Draw after a rotation 90 degrees clockwise. Then they told you the center. Yes. Counting from that center, which is 0, 3. That center, you go to it. 0 on the X, 3 on the Y. Then you mark your center. Then you start measuring each point from the center. You measure this one, which is at 0, 0. You measure this one, which is at 0, 2. Or 2, 0. Then you measure this one, which is at 2, 1. Then you are going to now flip and then you put them again. Yes. If it says anti, you have to do clockwise. Translation vector, you see how you move from, you don't even need to take more than 1 point. You just take 1 point. Then you go on the new shape again. You see how do I move from this one to go to this one. So you see you move 1, 2, then 1 downwards. So it will be 2, -1. As a vector, it's written like this. Yes. Yes. Yes, let's pick it. Let's pick it. We pick this one. We'll still go 1, 2, then 1 downwards. Yes. All right, so now they said calculate the size of the smallest angle in C. You go to C and you are, is this one. Yes. Now, what you are going to see is that it's a right angled triangle. And what you are going to see is that they mention the word angle. Let me tell you right now, I don't actually care. The moment you see the word angle and you see a right angled triangle, then you go and write the word SOHCAHTOA. If they ask you to find an angle, or if they give you an angle on a right angled triangle, write the word SOHCAHTOA. First, there are many different types of questions they can give you. Once you see a right angled triangle and you see there is an angle involved, write the word SOHCAHTOA. So how do you now do it? Look at how you do it. You go to the angle and you call it theta. Okay? You go to the angle and you call it theta. Sometimes you're given, sometimes you look for it. Now you go to the angle, you call it theta. The first step will be now label your triangle. The side opposite the angle is called opposite side. The side opposite the right angle is called hypotenuse. So label your triangle. If you have an unlabeled triangle, then I don't know what you're doing. The side opposite the angle is called opposite side because it's opposite the angle. The side opposite the right angle is called hypotenuse because it's opposite the right angle. The corner of the right. You see the corner of the right angle? You go opposite it, the side is. Then the last one is called adjacent. That last side is called adjacent. Now you have labeled your triangle. Do we know how big these sides are? Yes, we do. We know that this one is from -1 to -5. So can somebody find for me how big that is? We are starting at -5. We are ending at -1. So can you say here -1? Or we are starting at -1. We are ending at -5. -1 minus -5. What do you get? -1 plus 5. You get 4. If you don't want, you can just count the number of boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 boxes. So adjacent is equal to 4. Then the opposite, what is it equal to? The number of boxes? 2. So now we have adjacent is 2, whatever. Now look at what we look at. Which side is missing? You have labeled your sides. You are looking for which ones you know. Which one is missing here? They didn't even mention it. You are not looking for it. You are not given that side. It's the hypotenuse. We haven't been given hypotenuse. The question is not asking for hypotenuse. It's asking for an angle. So that means hypotenuse is out of the question. You go to SOHCAHTOA. Wherever you see hypotenuse, you cancel. Then now you remain with TOA. So yeah, now you can write. TOA is written like this. Tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent, which is going to be equal to you can now say tan. What's the theta? We don't know. Theta is equal to opposite over. Let's go look. Opposite is 2 over the other side. Adjacent 4. So it's 2 over 4. And you can now say this will be half. You can say now tan theta is equal to half, which is you can find theta by taking tan to the other side. Yes, tan inverse of half. What is tan inverse of half? You say second function tan, then it opens the bracket. You say half, you close bracket, is equal to, what is it? 26.56, which is, you write to 126.6 degrees. It's still, tan to the negative. When you take tan to the other side, it becomes tan inverse. That's a rule. So it becomes tan inverse of exactly what was there half. Because what we are looking for is theta, the angle. Okay? Right. We're now on the next one. We keep going. Okay? We've done some transformations. We've done some. We will need to go to another paper and do interest again, and do the things we have done again, so that we can make sure we're good at them. Huh? All right. So, um, let me do a bit of this one. Let me do this. When you are dealing with bearing, there are two types of questions. One is measure, the other one is calculate. Are we together? One is what? Measure. The other one is what? Calculate. When you measure, so here's how you do it. You always go to the point where they say from. That's where we measure. So bearing is about from. They said bearing of Q from P. So we go to P. We are measuring from here. So now when you are dealing with a measurement, you need to have a line which joins the two things you are doing bearing for. So you need a line which joins the 2 points you are doing. Then you start from where they say from. Here. You go and you put your protractor like this. Are we together? Then you measure. So you can measure. So you just measure how much it is. Now here it says find the actual distance between P and Q. Yes. Here when you want to find the actual distance between P and Q, so here you say measure the bearing now, or if they say find the actual distance from between P and Q, you just find the distance, you measure it with a ruler, then you use the scale. Remember we said what do you do with the scale? What you don't want, you put in the, you first write 1 centimeter is equal to 0.8 kilometers. So here you measure here let's see. If remember we say we have it. Here's the exchange rate. Here's the, it's like an exchange rate. So now let's say you found 11 centimeters. You say 11 times, you put centimeters at the bottom, then you put meters at the top. So the centimeter and the centimeter will cancel. It becomes 11 times 0.81 over 1, and it is meters. Now let's do the calculate. Bearing. bearing of P from B. They said the bearing about B is on a bearing 127 from P. So B from P can we see here? Let's see. Pardon? Yes. We're saying 127. Yeah, no, it's 120. I'm doing 127. 90 will be like this. So 127 will go down a little bit like this. Anything more than 90 is okay. And we will call this B. Now, so here we now calculate. They've told us something. So you do this. Always have the line which points at the north. Now they said a boat is on a bearing of 127 from P. So from P is 127. Here to B, this is 120. You start at north wherever they say from. So here they said from P. So we start on the north at P. We know that this they want this one. So this is how easy it is. We'll call it X. Here is the rule you always use. And you're not going to let me down. The rule you always use is that the interior angles here, when you add them, they should be equal to, here's the sum of interior angles. They should be equal to 180. So here, exactly. What we want is this. We want this one. The measurement. Remember, bearing is measured clockwise. We want to measure P from B. So we start at the north of B and we measure until we get it. So what? What is it? What is the answer? I know you calculated it and you told me it was 180 minus 127. And you got something? Huh? No. It's actually wrong. That's a lie. That's not what you do. This is X and you are looking for this one. We can call it Y. So you say 180 plus X. Sorry, not X. 127 plus X. These are the ones that give you 180. So you say 127 degrees plus X will be equal to 180 degrees. Which means to find the missing one, it will be actually 180. Yes, what do you get? X will be, it's good, it's good. 180 degrees minus 127 degrees. What do you get? Yes, so be careful. We had made a mistake on the first one. You don't lie. We had lied. We had made 127 plus the, it's plus x. The other inside, we call them co-interior angles. These two, they add up to give 180. Right. Where? Yes, P. We now say, sorry, we now say 360 minus this. Sorry, we now say 360 minus 53. So bearing will now be equal to 360 degrees minus 53 degrees. What do you get? 307 degrees. That's term and leaf. Here is where it's tricky when it asks for mean or something. They gave you range. So let's write range. Range is 2c minus 0.2. Yeah, so you say range is going to be equal to, the largest is 2 and the leaf is c. So it's 2c minus, this is 0.2, so minus 0.2. And they've told you range is 27. So 27 is equal to 2c minus 2, which is 27 plus 2 is equal to 2c, which means 27 over 2 is equal to c. (29 over 2). Right, you can leave, okay, 14.5 if you want. Yes. We, what would you be? You said 14.5. This is C. That doesn't matter. You soldier on, guys. You soldier on. Sleeping is not a crime. Falling asleep is the crime. Yes. Isn't it what we have just done? So we have our C, 14.5. From knowing what range is. Range means the biggest value, which is 2C, minus the smallest value, 0.2. Then median is just the number at the center. So on a stem and leaf, they are seeing if you know how to find median. Here's how you find median on a stem and leaf. You cancel here, then you cancel here. Then 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 you remain with 2. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, let's actually. I had almost lied. I'm the one who had lied. Let me say, it's not okay. Good. Here it is. Here is what I did. Good. That's correct. You say range is equal to highest value minus lowest value, which is the range 27 is equal to the highest value 2c minus the lowest value 0.2, which is 2. Okay, if you want to say 0.2, which is a 2. You take it to the other side. 27 plus 2 is equal to 2c.
29 is equal to 2C. So 2 and 2, 9 is C. So you can say 9 is the C. So your C is a 9. No, C is the last number. The 2 is there. Why are you lying? No, if it was like this, that's when you're allowed to say that. You don't say your own thing. C is the leaf, which means the last number. Not 29 is the last number, the 9. Can't you see C is here? Which means it's the leaf. The 2 is already there. C is the last number. 20 something. 20, 24, 26, 2C, 20C. You know, 2C. You understand? You get it? So C is 9. Then now you go to median. Median, remember, you say this down, you say up, then down. Then up, then down. It's 2, 2. Up, then down. It's 3, 3. Up, then down. It's 4, 4. If you remain with two numbers, you add them and divide them by 2 to get median. So you're going to say, because we get two numbers, if it was one number, it would have been the median. Median is equal to, what are the two numbers we are remaining with? It's 1b plus 17, which is 17, divided by 2. This gives us median. So the median is 16. So we would now say 16 is equal to 1b plus 17 over 2. You take 2 to the other side. 16 by 2 is equal to 1b plus 17. 16 by 2, that's 32. Is equal to 1b plus 17. You take 17 to the other side. 32 minus 17 is equal to 1b. 15 is equal to 1b. What becomes our b here, boys? Yes, that is why they gave you this. They didn't give you this to find these things. They gave you to check. Do you know how to use a stem and leaf? What makes a stem and leaf hard? You should be able to find the mean, the median, and the range on a stem and leaf. So, Lefika, here is how you find median. You cancel the top, cancel the bottom, 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 until you remain with one number. If you remain with one number, that one number is the median. If you remain with two numbers, you can't cancel them both. So how do you get the median? You add them and divide them by 2. So you need to show that. You're going to say, median, since I remained with two numbers, median is I add those two numbers I remained with. 1b, 17. I add them and divide by 2. That's how I get median. So you are showing the examiner you know. You get a mark for that. You know how to get the median. When you have 2 digits left, you add them. Divide them by 2, and that's equal to your median. Do you hear me, Lefika? Are you saying that? Now you add them, divide them by 2, make them equal to median. Then play around until you remain with B. You can't. Is equal to? Yes, exactly. Over 2. Make sure you divide by 2. Then you take that 2 to the other side because we want B. We take 2 to the other side, it will multiply. And here you remain with 1b and 17. Oh, okay, yeah, it's on the second one. So now we say we are taking things one by one. We took the range and we used it by first writing the formula for range before we can use it. We write the formula, then we put the range, then we put the highest value, then we put the lowest value. Then we started to work out so that we can find the range. So here we say 16 times 2, 32 is equal to 1b plus 17. Then you take 17 to the other side, it will subtract. 32 minus 17 is equal to 1b. 32 minus 17, you get 15 is equal to 1b. The 1 is there, so don't lie to me to say b is 15. What are you saying?
The 1 is there, so B is the last part, which is 5. So B is 5. 1 is the same as B. Where are you seeing that? It's not 1. It's the last digit. So B is the last digit, which is 5. What are you not seeing here? Are you not seeing that the 1 is there? Can you not see that there is 1 and 1? Can you not see? So then the last part is the 5. So the 5 is the B. Now we go to mean. Okay? Mean is found by adding things. Okay? So that's another one. So now since we know that B is a 5, C is a 9. Yes. Yeah, mean will help us to find C. You don't give an answer. You are not allowed to do that. We're not just work out things. You don't give an answer. We don't want your answer. We want the working. The working will give the answer. You understand? So you are not allowed to say range should be C. Who said that? We're not just write the formula for range and let the answer find itself. So you see the word mean here. What you should know is that stem and leaf, what makes them difficult is finding range, median, mean. So here you are being taught how to find range, median, and mean on a stem and leaf. That's what this question is all about. Okay? So we have this stem and leaf. So mean, let's add. What is the mean? Let's add. Mean is simple. Is found by adding things, right? And dividing by how many they are. So this is the last thing. Median, I now know you know how to get it. You cancel the top, you cancel the bottom. 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 That's how you find median until you remain with one thing. That will be your median. If you remain with two things, you add them and divide them by 2 to get the median. The range is the highest, the biggest minus the smallest. The mean is addition. So here 0, 2, you say 0, 2, which is just a 2, plus 0a, which is plus a. Okay, that's how you'll be getting the mean. So let's write that down. I don't have enough working with space. So we say mean is equal to, you say 0, 2. Okay, 2 is on 0, so it's 2 plus 0a, which is a, plus, here we have an 11, so you say plus 11, plus, here we have 3, which is 13, plus, here we have 5, which makes it 15, plus, here we have 7 on a 1, which makes it 17. You keep going, plus, here we have 0 on a 2, which makes it 20, plus, here we have 4, which makes it 24, plus, here we have 26, which makes it 26, plus, here we have 9, which makes it 29. Then you should have written them, all of them in one place, and divide by how many they are. How many are they? They tell you. How many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 things. So you then divide by 10. And you're going to find it. So let's write step by step. What is the mean? 16.5. It is equal to this divided, all this divided by 10. So can you add the numbers first? Don't worry about A. Add the numbers. A, 2 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15 plus 17 plus 20 plus 24 plus 26 plus 29. Add them. What do you get? Add them. $157. So you now say A, 16.5 is A plus 157 over 10. You take 10 to the other side, 16.5 by 10 is equal to A plus 157. Let the answer find itself. Lifika, that's the biggest lesson. You don't give us your answer. We don't want it. 165 is equal to A plus 157. You take 157 to the other side. 165 minus 157 is equal to A. What's 165 minus 157? 8. So your A is 8. 5 marks for nothing. There is no mode because all values appear only once. Mode is the number which appears the most. How do we do this nth term? Yes. Okay. Cuboid. So anyway, let's talk about it. Surface area is just surface area is just about adding areas. Remember, here is it. We have what we call 2D shapes. They are also called plane, as in plane of X and Y, plane shapes. These are circle, okay? Then you have your right angle triangle, okay, a triangle. Then you have a square. Then you have a rectangle. These ones, you get area for them because they are plane shapes, so you get area. So once you see the word area, plane means what we call a plane is meaning there is X, it is X and Y. In other words, there are only two things about it, length and width. There is no height. When you come to 3D shapes, like a cylinder, they now have 3 dimensions, which means they have length, they have width, they have height. You understand? You can go this way, you can go this way, you can go up and down. Right. And these ones, there is no word area here. You find volume on this. Once you see them say area, they want you to find area of the faces of these shapes. Because as a 3D shape, you can't get area. So you get the circle here, which is on top. The circle here, these are the faces. So when we say surface area, we want the faces. Area of the top face, which is a rectangle. Area of the bottom face, which is a... You understand? So you have a cuboid. And that means it has 6 faces. 2 faces are 3 by 7, okay? 3 by 7 this side, 3 by 7 the other side. 2 faces are 7 by 11, the top and the bottom. 2 faces are 3 by 11. So in other words, it's 2 of, remember, when we are doing areas, we are doing face by face by face, and each face has 2's. On a rectangle, we have this one and the one at the back. We have the one in front, we have the one this side. It's like you have the one at the top, you have the one at the bottom. For everything, it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So it's going to be the surface area. It means I'm getting areas of plane shapes. Which plane shapes? The faces. So it's 2 of 3 centimeters by 7 centimeters. This is one face, and there are 2 of them, which are like that. Then 2 of 7 centimeters by 11 centimeters. Then 2 of 3 centimeters by 11 centimeters. These give us the surface area. This is 42 centimeters squared plus 77 by 2. You do your thing. Plus 33 by 2, that's 66 centimeters squared. Find here. Then you add. Simple fixture. The areas are, find face by face. Don't run. Face by face by face. Nth term now. Yes. Yes. No, forget about it. We don't do formulas. This is not physics. What you do for nth term is the first step. You need to find the what is the difference between 2 things. So you say forward minus backward, forward minus behind, 1 in front, 1 behind. Tell me what you get. What is 24 minus 31? Negative 7. 17 minus 24, negative 7. 10 minus 17, negative 7. So that means it's negative 7 to move from one term to another. They now say, write down the term to term rule. Term to term rule for continuing. It's negative 7 to go from one term to another. Term to term. You just subtract 7. So if you can say it is just n minus 7. Or it's just the term. I don't know. Let me think. Yeah, you can say minus 7 is like to say subtract 7. Write down the next two terms in the sequence. You subtract 7 again, you get 3. You subtract 7 again, you get negative 4. So it's 3 and negative 4. Find the nth term. So if the difference here is negative 7, which is the same, that means your nth term starts as negative 7n. So if I'm finding my nth term, it's already negative 7n, right? Then I now say plus some some difference d. I'm just left with finding this difference. And how I find this difference, I say this minus that. What's 31 minus negative 7? What do you get? 38. So Tn is now negative 7n plus 38. It's so easy. First thing is you subtracted forward minus backward. Forward minus, you got some. If it's negative 7, that means it starts as negative 7n. If it was 3, it starts as 3n. Then to get this last part, you say the first term minus the difference. So we say the first term minus, the difference is already a negative 7. So it's 31 minus negative 7, which is the same as saying 31 plus 7, which is 38. Yes. No, you don't meet that. Quadratic sequences. The difference, what do you mean? Hmm? $46. It's 45. No, 45. No, 45. All right, so here's just what you do. This minus this, you get 3. This minus this, 5. This minus this, 7. Then you subtract again. 5 minus 3, 2. 7 minus 2, 2. So the fact that you have subtracted twice, it means it's starting as an n squared. Okay? Because it's only that the numbers are only becoming the same in the second step. So you already started as an n squared. So your nth term starts as n squared. Then what number comes before n squared? You say this number here which you have divided by 2. If this was a 4, you'd divide it by 2, you'd get 2 and put a 2n squared. By 2, you take this second difference, which is now the same, you divide it by 2. It happens to be a 2, so you say 2 divided by 2 of n squared. If this was a 4, you would have said 4 divided by 2 of n squared. This number divided by 2, whatever it is, if it's 100 divided by 2 and put it in front of n squared. So say 100 over 2 of n squared. Why did you say n squared? because it became the same on step. It's not because this is a 2. That has nothing to do with it. It's because the numbers became the same on the second step. So you started by saying n squared, right? Then you say this this number which is the same in the second step, divided by 2 and put it in front of n squared. That is the first step. Have you all seen that? Hello? Huh? No, you're not done. This is the first step. You that number divided by 2, you say it's squared. Then the last term, give me a second. Give me a second. Right. Here's how you get the last part. Let's finish. Here's how you get the last part. What did I say? Where's the working? Here. I said just subtract. Come on, come on, you can do this. Just subtract, get different numbers. You are not happy because the numbers are different because you are subtracting 34 minus 31, you got 3. 39 minus 34, you got 5. 46 minus 39, you got 7. You're not yet happy. You subtract again, you got 2. No, now the differences are the same, but they became the same on the second difference. So it's an n squared. What n squared? This number of yours divided by 2 for the n squared. Then what you then do is you say, or you get it as so far, it will be an n squared plus d. Now for you to find d, here's what you do. You're just going to say, let's find the what is it? The sequence of n squared, and let's subtract it. So if I'm going to remove here, okay, we want to find the sequence of n squared and we want to subtract it. Are we together? We want to find the sequence of n squared and we want to subtract it. The sequence of n squared and we want to subtract it. Let's find it. Can you tell me how do you find that sequence of n squared? We would say first you say 1. What is 1 squared? Hello? Let's go. What is 1 squared? It's 1. What is 2 squared? 4. What is 3 squared? 9. What is 4 squared? 16. Are you seeing? Yes. So it would be having something like that. And what you'd be seeing, what you see is when you subtract these, if you say 31 minus 1, you get 0, 34 minus 0, you get 0, all these will get 0. What you will now do is you will say, you don't get 0, you get 30. 34 minus 4, 30. 39 minus 9, 30. 46 minus 16, 30. So you keep getting 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30 when subtracting, and that becomes the number you come and put here to say plus 30. So it'll be it will be n squared plus 30. 2 over 2 is 1. Became a 1. Probably. Yes, get it. Let me open it. May, June 2021, paper 3-3. Give me a second to open it. I'm going to share my screen just now. Give me 1 second. Right. Can you see my screen again? You can see my screen again, right? Right. Right. Probability is the easiest thing ever. Let me tell you, there are three things. There are three things we use to solve all probability questions. Three. Only three. Listen closely. Lifika? The first thing is that when you want probability, you're going to say the number of successful events over the total number of trials. Let's say you are told that you have a bag of sweets. In this bag, you have 4 red sweets, 3 green sweets, 2 yellow sweets. Then we tell you you are going to pick a sweet randomly. What is the probability that it's red? You don't think hard. How many red are there? Probability is how many do you have of that thing? We have 4 red. Over what's the total? 4 plus 3 plus 2. That's 9. This is the probability of red. It's the number of red over the total. Do you see the first way of getting probability? The number for that thing over the total. Don't let me down. You need a big stick. The second way to find probability, Lifika, is this. You should know that probabilities add to give you 1. So let's say we have here probability of red, probability of green, probability of yellow. If let's say we don't know how many yellow sweets were there, we say that some were yellow, and you were told that the probability of green, Lifika, in Joseph, you're told that it is 3/9. Probability of red is 4/9. Probability of green is 3/9, which is 1/3. Then they ask you, what is the probability of yellow? What is the probability of yellow? Are you watching, Joseph? Joseph, can you watch? You have been told the probability. You are the one who sent us to this question. Now you're not watching. You have been given probability of red, probability of green. Now they are asking for probability of yellow. Listen. The second way of finding probability is this. Probabilities add to give you 1. So if you want a probability which is missing and you have others, switch on the camera, switch on the video, Joseph. If you want one probability and you have others, so if you want 1 and you have, listen closely. Are you listening? If there is a probability that you want and you have others, you just say 1 minus the ones that you have. You will get the one you need. So look at this simple tree diagram. Either I'm late or I'm not late. I have the probability of late. How do I get for not late? 1 minus late, I'll get probability of not late, 0.8. Here again, 1 minus, I get 0.8. Here again, 1 minus this, I'll get 0.8. Then here is the last part. So 1 minus the probability of the other. So here it would have been 1 minus probability of red plus probability of green in a bracket. You first add them, then you subtract them from 1. You get probability of yellow, because probability has to give you 1. So this is the second way of finding probability. Then listen to the last one. Last one is called combination of probabilities. That's the last concept you use. It is when you have the word and the word or. The word and you multiply. The word or you add. Can you see? The word and you multiply the word or. So now you use them when you have two probabilities now. Look. This one when you now have two. Look at it. Complete the tree diagram as simple fixture. Used to find the probability that a train is late on both days. So the word both is the same as the word and. Are you watching, Joseph? I said the word both is the same as the word what? So if they say it's late on both days, it means they want the probability of late and late. Because you're late on both days. So you're late and late again. What is the probability of late the first time? 0.2. What does and mean? So here you can change to say this means probability of late times probability of late. Because there is the word and joining them. So you multiply. We are in the third section of probability where you are combining. So there are only 3 ways of doing it. Come on now. How do you fail this? So it's going to be, what's the probability of late? 0.2. And we multiply 0.2 again. 0.04. And that's your answer. Yeah, it was wrong. Because if it was 2 times, it should have been this and that. So you should have multiplied that number by itself, not by 2. If we say late and late, you don't say late times 2. It means late times late. What does that mean? It's probability of not late and not late. We don't care about Monday or Tuesday. So this is going to be not late and not late is going to be the probability of not late. What do you do when you use the word and, Lifika? You multiply times not late. Are you sleepy, Lifika? So it's going to be, what's the probability of not late in the first time? 0.8. And not late again, 0.8. So it's going to be 0.8 times not late on the second, 0.8, which you get 0.16. And you're done. It's 0.64, I mean. Oh, not late on my and late. Okay. Not late and late. Yes, 0.8 times 0.2. Which makes it 0.16. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. All right. these are the test scores. You may use the tally column to help you. So tally will be just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When there are 5, you do this. So it's like, so let's say 0 to 10. This is the first one, so you put 1. This is the second one, you put 2. This is the third one, you put 3. That is between 0 and 10, so there are only 3. So the frequency is 3. Then 21 to 30. This is between 21 and 30, you put 1. This is between 21 and 30, you put 2. Oh, sorry, we are doing 11 to 20. Let's do 11 to 20 first. This one is 11 to 21. 11 to 20. This one is 11 to 22. So it's 2 of them. Then we go again for 21 to 30. This is between 21 and 31. This is between 21 and 32. This is, no, it's not. 21 and 33. 21 and 34. 21 and 35. So you do it like this. Then, yeah, so there are only 5, so it'll be 5. Then between 31 and 40, this one, that's 1. This one, that's 2. This one, that's 3, so it's 3. Then between 41 and, no, this is 31 and 40, so including this one, that's 4. So it'll be 4. Then 41 to 50 is just this, so it's a 1, so it's 1. Anyway, you have it. Bar chart. You may use your table to complete the bar chart. Frequency. So we say 0 to 10. What is the frequency? 3. So it is 3 on 0 to 10. 11 to 20, it is 2. So it is 2 on 11 to 20. (21 to 30), it is 5. So you go to 5. 31 to 40, it is 4, so you go on 4. 41 to 50, it is 1, so you make it a 1. Well done. We move on. Right. Tell me, what do you do here when you see the word compound interest? What do you write? Value of investment. If you don't write this, then I'm running away from you. You are a bad student. You are telling me that you are working tomorrow to lose marks. How can you work to lose marks knowing you are going to lose? Write this very fast. Value of investment is principal multiplying 1 plus rate to the rate over 100. You can't forget this formula because that's disaster to the power of time. Principal 160,000, the money invested. Rate is 1 plus the rate 2.5 over 100 to the power of time 3 years. Then you'll get your answer. Is this number 3C? Why would you do these type of questions from 2000 and whatever? Calculus the okay, let me see what topic this is. She wants to calculate the cost of the grass seed she needs to buy. Okay, you just need to get the area, I guess. Either way, let's do that. Right. Where does she want to put the grass? Yeah, they just said calculate the cost of grass seed she needs to buy. All right. She wants to grow grass in the shaded part. So she wants to grow grass here. So now let me tell you. There's this secret which will never change. The part which they want, there is no way of getting it. The only way of getting it is subtracting the other parts. So ignore this shaded area. You're not going to get it. There's no way of finding that area. The only way only way you are going to find that area, you say area of this. This game will never ever change. You ignore the shaded thing. You're going to find area of the rectangle. Then you subtract area of this partial, which is a sector. So you must know this, how to find area of this sector. So you say rectangle minus sector, then you are going to have the area of the grass. So you're going to say area of rectangle is going to be equal to length times width, which is 85 meters times 24 meters. Then you're going to say area of partial is going to be equal to, what do we have? We have the radius. Remember, the area is like this. Pi r squared theta. It's pi r squared theta. Yes. Yes, it's pi r squared theta, which here it will be a quarter, but it's pi r squared theta. This, it's not always a quarter, it's just a quarter here because you're lucky. It's pi r squared theta, which is pi times the radius. What is the radius? 24. So times 24 squared times theta. You are lucky because theta here is 90. It may not be 90. Everyone can see that this is a right angle. So it's theta. Pi r squared theta, but the theta should be over 360. Yeah? Pi r squared theta. What, you're no longer hearing me nicely? So it's, if that happens, you should tell me. So it's pi r squared theta, but the theta is over 360. So here it would be theta over 360, which is 90 divided by 360. Okay? Which is going to be pi times 24 squared times 1/4. Because 90 over 360 is the one which would be 1/4. You understand? You divide this by 360. Okay? Right. Another way of getting it, if you don't want, is you say pi r squared divided by 2. No. Let me see. It's pi r squared by theta over 2 pi. Which the pi and the pi will cancel. So it's r squared. It's half r squared theta. Yes. Here is another way of getting area of a sector. It is, instead of pi r squared this, you can just say half r squared theta. But theta should be in rad. Which means you say, in this case, it's 90 degrees. So for you, so just know area of a sector is half r squared theta. But it should be in rad. So for you, you would say theta is equal to 90 degrees. We need to convert it to rad. How? We use that trick we're using for exchange rate. You should know that pi rad is equal to 180 degrees. So everybody, you should know this. Now we want to convert it to rad. So what do? Hello? Conversion. We start by putting the 90 degrees. Then this exchange rate should become a fraction. Exchange rate is a fraction. Who goes in the denominator of the fraction? The one that you have, right? Isn't we have degrees? So degrees go in the denominator. Then the other guy goes in the numerator. Have you seen that, Joe? So you say 91 into 182. So you have theta be equal to, here it will be pi over 2 rad. So for us in here, we would say the area of the partial will be half r squared. Your theta will be pi over 2, which would have made it 1/4 pi r squared, which would have made it equal to 1 pi times, what is your r? Your r is here 24. So pi times 24 squared, the r should be squared. Then you divide by 4. What is the answer? The quarter, it's coming from saying the denominators should multiply because we have 2 fractions there. So 2 times 2 becomes 4. Then pi times 1 just remains as a pi. So where is it? So can you all write this formula down and start practicing it? Half r squared theta. But make sure your theta is in rad.
and make sure you know how to convert to rad using this. Pi rad is 180 degrees. So you will take your angle, you will multiply it by this fraction, Joseph. The pi rad is 180. 180 degrees should be in the denominator because you have degrees. So that degrees and degrees cancel. Then you remain with rad. You hear me? Then you get your answer. Now finally you just say area of grass is equal to the area of rectangle. We know that. We didn't even want to be told. Minus the area of the patio. Then you get the area of the grass, whatever answer you have. But now you should convert it now to cost. They say 40 grams of grass per square meter. Grass is sold in 1 kg bags, which cost $6.80. So you're going to say 1 kg costs $6.80. So, okay. Now here they said 40 grams per square meter. So you have 40 grams is equal to 1 square meter. So now let's first find area. Then we are going to convert it to mass. Then we are going to convert it to cost. So they are saying, do you know exchange rate? If you don't know exchange rate, I'll be the most disappointed man here. Because exchange rate is all about relationships. The exchange rate, we change it to fractions. Here you've been told that 40 grams of seed per square meter. So that means 1 square meter is equal to 40 grams. We keep it there. That's one relationship we've been given. Another relationship we've been given is 1 kg bags, which cost $6.80, and each bag is 1 kg. So it's 1 kg is equal to $6.80. So now we have all this. So what we will do is we will now say, can you find me the area of the grass, please? What is the area of the patio? We have 85 times 24 area of the rectangle. What do you get? For 85 times 24 square meters. What about this one? Punch pi, 452.38 square meters. Now, we will now say it is 2040 square meters minus 452.38 square meters. If you don't do what we agree on, I'll be the most disappointed person. What do you get? Point 6.62 square meters. Now you are going to then write, we need to convert it to cost. So you say 1 square meter is equal to 40 grams. So we now want to convert this to grams. We write it first. 1587.62 square meters. Then we bring the relationship. But the relationship which we bring should now be a what? Hey, Joseph, when we are converting, the relationship should be converted to a what? To a fraction. Joseph, come on, you need me to say it 10 times. To a fraction. So we say times. This relationship, I want to see it in your fraction. Who goes on the denominator? The one which we have, which is the square meters. So we put 1 square meters. Who do we put on top? The one which we want, 40 grams. We want it in grams. So what answer do you now get here? Meter squared and meter squared cancel. What is 1587.62 times 40? 63.8 grams. Now we want to convert it to kgs, obviously, before we can work without this. So we can say divided by 1,000. What is it? 63,504.8 grams divided by 1,000. What do you get? 63.5048 kgs. Now you have kgs. You want to convert it to dollars.
You use the exchange rate. I said you use the relationship, but it should become a fraction. So start with what you have, 63.5048 kgs. Then multiply by that relationship. I want to see it as the fraction. Who goes in the denominator, Joseph? The figure now knows. Who goes in the denominator? Huh? Which is what? 1 kg. Then what goes on the top? $6.80. $6.80, the one you're looking for. Kgs cancel. What do you now get? 63.5048 times 6.8. 403. Yeah, it can be. 63.5048 times 6.8 class. Then divided by 1, which doesn't change anything. $4.83. Well done, Lifika. Did you get the same answer? $431.83. Who has a question here? Who has a question? Ah, yes. Are you sleepy, guys? It's at 10 a.m. Go sleep. Go sleep, go sleep, go sleep. Because you need to wake up and go into whatever. Bye. No problem.